from the Warehouse Under the Stairs sessions.
Wagner House.
That's what I said.
You said warehouse.
I said Wagner House.
You said warehouse.
I'm country. Hey, this is Corey Layne, and this is live from the Wagner House Under the Stairs sessions. All right, you ready? All right, this is Let's Take Tonight. I wrote this song with Steve Freeman, and it's a good one. I like it. So, Let's Take Tonight right here. Live under the stairs at Wagner House, Freeport, Illinois. My heart's on fire. Tell me everything's alright. There's so many things I wanna tell, but the words won't come out right. Don't go, stay with me tonight. That look in your eyes drives me wild. Girl, you got me addicted to your smile. And there's so many things I want to know, like how you look in the morning light. Don't go, stay with me tonight. Let's let tomorrow stay a million miles away. Let's hold on to tonight. Baby, say you'll stay. Cause there's so many things I wanna tell, but the words won't come out right. Don't go, stay with me tonight. Oh, don't go, stay with me tonight. Yeah. How was that one?
That one was
One take?
that was really good. I got a little bit of chills, man.
Okay, so we'll keep it at one take then.
What you gonna do next?
Well, you know, I have actually this stupid thing. I've got some silly questions,
Sure.
and you just did it to me. You know, everything I've heard you saying, that's your music.
Yeah.
It's a deep emotional connection, and you know, I feel like through our conversation that everything that inspires you is heartfelt. How do you hope your music reaches other people? I know it reaches you because I feel it from you.
Yeah.
You hope it reaches other people.
So I write from a place of realness, like when I write my songs. But like with that song, I actually had a couple come up to me, and it was so strange, and yet at the same time so gratifying. They came up to me and said, "I just want you to know your song 'Stay With Me' saved our marriage." And I was like, "Really? how'd that happen? And they said, it was the words. And I said, I was trying to get my wife with that song. I wrote that for her because I wanted her. And because I knew she was lonely. Like, I knew she was lonely. And I was just like, I wrote that song because I wanted to be with her. But it saved your marriage. So when it comes to writing music, I write it for myself initially because it's something for me. And usually I don't try to make it a point to just let it out to the world, if that makes sense. But then people say, hey, that's a good song. You should probably release that. You should probably let that go. And when I do, then people come up and say, like that lady and her husband said, you saved our marriage with the song Stay With Me. And so when it hits me, like I feel like if it hits me, then maybe it'll hit somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
What's the song that's coming up next that might hit hometown right now?
Hard to Kill. I wrote Hard to Kill because I've almost died 17 times. But it's a true story, no joke. Almost died 17 times. I do not want to try 18. But Hard to Kill, when we put that out to the internet, I had more veterans and reach out to me than I have ever had in my life, and said, I live that song. I live that. Like, this is our country and we want to take it back. And I was like, well, it might cause a little riff. And they said, please release it. I'm begging you. And these were veterans asking me to release this. And then I got a call and they said they wanted me to release it. So you know what? We went in, recorded it, and it'll be out on October 16th. And it's called Hard to Kill. And it's a badass song. It's a badass song. So this is called Hard to Kill. Well, I'm from a long line of tough as nails, legacy forged in the fires of hell, roots sunk deep as a well in barren land. Had to fight for everything we own, don't dare mess with the family home. That's our creed, we'll bleed, don't give a damn. You best think twice if you're gonna come at me, 'cause this bad apple don't fall too far from the tree. 'Cause I'm flesh and bone with an iron will, battle scar with a heart of steel. You can try, but few men live to tell the tale. So take your shot, but mark my word, the last thing that you'll ever learn is when the dust is settled, final drop is spilled. I'm hard to kill. I've struggled damn near all my life. I ain't looking for a fight, but trouble seems to find me anyway. I've been knocked down, dragged through the mud, but giving up, it ain't in my blood. I get back up, spitting that devil's face. 'Cause I'm flesh and bone with an iron will, battle scar with a heart of steel. You can try, but few men live to tell the tale. So take your shot, but mark my word, the last thing that you'll ever learn is when the dust is settled, the final drop is spilled. I'm hard to kill. Whoa. I ain't ever back down from a fight, and I never will. 'Cause I'm flesh and bone with an iron will, battle scarred with a heart of steel. You can try, but few men live to tell the tale. So take your shot, but mark my word, The last thing that you'll ever learn is when the dust is settled, final drop is spilled. When the dust is settled and the final drop is spilled, I'm hard to kill. Whoa. I'm hard to kill. Yeah. One take okay on that one?
That was hot.
Okay, cool.
I think everybody.
Nice. This is easy today then.
Hey, you're normally one taker, bro.
I know, but still.
So, the industry's changing. I know there's a favorite song of mine that maybe you're playing, maybe you're not. Are we playing that one?
What song is it? Between George Strait and George? Yeah.
Tammy Wynette, yeah.
Yeah, Between George Strait and George Jones.
Yeah, so, and then Tammy Wynette somewhere in the middle, isn't she?
No, it's actually a love song about falling in love, listening to George Strait and George Jones. We fell in love somewhere in between George Strait and George Jones, so it's about being in a bar. They're playing George Strait and George Jones.
My joke was
I wish Tammy Wynette would have been in there. I promise you, in that thought. Oh, the playlist, yes, but in that thought, I guarantee you it was there. I promise you, it probably was there.
So we're gonna hear something that kind of takes you back. But how do you stay current in the country music scene, evolving your music, and there's lots of changes in pop, and your style is kind of your own.
Well, I grew up listening to 80s and 90s country. And, 70s, 80s, 90s. And I love 70s, 80s, and 90s country. And, I'm not knocking those guys that are doing what they're doing right now. I think that if you're doing it and you're making it, congratulations. I wish I was to that point. But I stay close to my roots. So my roots are in East Tennessee in the mountains. And we would sit around fires or a still, and we would sing country songs, real country songs. So to me, staying relevant is just getting as many songs out there as I can. And, I'm trying to bring 90s and 80s and 90s back. You know what I mean? Like, I'm young still. And, even though I've lived the life of a 50-year-old man 6 times, I'm still young. And I'm just trying to bring that back to country music because, country music has kind of lost a little bit of what they were. And, being in Nashville, seeing them taking down so many of the landmarks and the history of the music industry, it's heartbreaking. But there's still a few of us out there who we're outlaws. I mean, we're kind of like Waylon Willie, Johnny, all them. We're outlaws. And that's just the way we are. And we don't care what you think about us. We're going to sing what we're going to sing. If you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. And I'm glad you guys like it. You know what I mean? So I think it's, throwing it back to the old school sound. It's not old school to me. It's just still current to me, if that makes sense at all. So I love it. Yeah. So I have a friend of mine that wrote this song, and it went to top 40 on Music Row. I'm tuning while I'm talking. It went to top 40 on Music Row, and it's called Between George Strait and George Jones. I hope you guys enjoy it. Well, I saw her sitting there beside that empty chair, singing along with those tunes. And I took one more drink from my glass, stood up and walked across that room. I reached out my hand and asked her to dance. She could have easily shot me down. She stood up and slipped into my arms, and we started spinning around. She laid her head on my shoulder, she let me hold her closer than I thought she would. I felt my heart beat like thunder from the spell I fell under out on that old hardwood. From Amarillo by morning, that same old me darling, and a couple other slow country songs. We fell in love somewhere in between George Strait and George Jones. Well, I'd like to thank them good old boys for the difference they made in my life. That girl that I danced with, I took the chance with, told me that she'd be my wife. If it hadn't have been for the songs in that band, I don't know where I'd be now. I might not have met her, I might not have let her turn my whole world upside down. She laid her head on my shoulder, she let me hold her closer than I thought she would. I'll always remember how she felt so tender out on that old hardwood. From Marina Del Rey to He Stopped Loving Her Today, and a couple other great country songs. We fell in love somewhere in between George Strait and George Jones. I hope they never stop playing those songs that keep making two hearts beat together so strong. 'Cause we fell in love somewhere in between George Strait and George Jones. Oh, we fell in love somewhere in between George Strait and George Jones. What do you want me to sing?
Your favorite song?
It's on an album, but I've never recorded Real as the Rain. Okay, so Real as the Rain, it came from, so I was sitting in the, me and my wife were dating at the time, and we weren't married yet, and so she moved from Bemidji, Minnesota to Tennessee just to be with me. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. Why would she move all the way down here just to be with this guy? You know, and I found out what real love was like. You know what I mean? So we were sitting outside one day, and I wrote this with Buddy Owens. He wrote Red River Blue by Blake Shelton, his title track. And then Galen Griffin, he wrote She Won't Be Lonely Long by Clay Walker. And I presented this to these guys, but we were sitting in the valley in my hometown, and I said, I was trying to be hot, you know, fat guy trying to be hot. It's not a really good thing, but I wasn't as fat then. But I looked at her and I said, like the earth that is quaking, you still got me shaking. We started us a fire, it's burning high. And then I looked at the mountains, and we were in the valley, and I said, these mountains and these valleys, they kind of tell our story of the ups and the downs we've had along the way. Baby, our love is real as the rain. And that's where it started. And, you know, I always tried to be able to write, you know, as a man and as an artist, and I'm sure you understand this, as a man, as an artist, when you write something, you're writing it with an intention. There's an intention behind your writing. And sometimes it's to heal yourself. Sometimes it's to fall in love. Sometimes it's to heal somebody else. You know what I mean? There's a bunch of intentions behind writing. And this song was the song that I wanted to write because I wanted her to marry me. And she ended up marrying me. So, yeah, it's called Real as the Rain. Like the earth that is quaking, you've still got me shaking. We started us a fire, it's burning high. These mountains and these valleys, they kinda tell our story of the ups and the downs we've had along the way. Our love is real as the rain. When it pours, it washes like salvation. And when it's dry, the desert's even praying. Oh, it could save our lives or wash us both away. Baby, our love is real as the rain. I still remember falling like the leaves in early autumn. You changed the color of love from gray to baby blue. We've had our share of suffering, but when we were down to nothing, we found something real as the rain. When it pours, it washes like salvation. When it's dry, the desert's even praying. Oh, it could save our lives or wash us both away. Baby, our love is real as the rain. When it pours, it washes like salvation. And when it's dry, the desert's even praying. Oh, it could save our lives or wash us both away. Baby, our love is real as the rain. Baby, our love is real as the rain. It's real. It'll always be real as the rain. Yeah, it will. Yeah. Yeah, right.
Man, thank you so much.
Hey, one takers, I'll be daggum.
That's what I'm talking about, Corey.